Welcome back to the Loner Ranger Radio Show with Bruce Woodburn, CrossCountry Mortgage. If you have questions for me about buying a home, selling a home, investing in real estate, what type of mortgages might be right for you, maybe you have some special circumstances that you think I've never heard of, I'd be challenging you to present one to me, but I'm here to help. I'm easy to reach. I run a huge mortgage company. I'm the regional VP for CrossCountry Mortgage in Central Florida. I lend throughout the state of Florida, but I also lend in all 50 states. I'm doing mortgages in Oklahoma, Virginia, West Virginia. I'm doing right now in Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. Oh, where else am I? Texas. I'm doing mortgages all over the Washington State. Listen, I've been in the business a long time. And I don't say this to brag, but I've got a good reputation. Okay. I have a good reputation and I take that seriously because I don't want anybody to ever think that they came to me and they got misinformation or I tried to get them into a program that wasn't in their best interest. That will never happen with me. It will never happen with any of my staff. And by the way, my loan officers on my team, they are not commission based, where mortgage brokers and a lot of these lenders that work for mortgage companies, they're all commission based. So they have incentives on selling certain products. We don't care. You know what? My employees wouldn't know what programs have a higher profit margin than another one. And in my branch, we cut our profit margins down so we could pass those savings on to you. Now, CrossCountry is the largest retail lender in the entire nation. We have more loan programs than any lender you can possibly think of. There's none around, not one mortgage company. And I challenge, if you work for a mortgage company, you think you have more programs than we, I'll compare notes with you. I'll put $100 bet on the table that you don't. So I know we do because I know what my competitors have. I know what Guild has. I know what the banks have. They don't even have squat. I know what the banks have. I know what all your other bigger players in the industry, they can't even hold a candle to it. They can't hold. The owner of CrossCountry Mortgage is so insistent that we are ahead of the curve with every other mortgage company. It's just absolutely insane, the things that we do. And we've got all the traditional programs, your conventional, your FHA, VA, USDA. We have super jumbo and jumbo loans for all you high-end net worth people, but I've got asset loans. So here's something I'm doing a lot of. I want to talk about that before I do, but I want to give you my phone number. So write this number down. I'm going to give you two phone numbers. You can choose either one. They both get to me. My Tampa Bay number is 813-213-4009. My Orlando number is 407-706-3313. And my website for easy online application, even though we prefer to take applications in person, on a Zoom call, on the phone, we like the personal service. We're not a transactional lender. We're a service lender. So I want your repeat business and I'm going to doggone it. I'm going to do what I can to earn it. So I've had clients that I've done 7, 8 mortgages for over the life of their life and then their kids' loans. So I want that repeat business and I'm going to do what I can to earn it. Now, I wanted to talk to you about how the market's going, like what's happening right now. What's happening with interest rates? What's happening since this whole invasion of Venezuela, which is not an invasion. We didn't invade the country. We took the fake president out and we're going to find a way to get a real president in. I want to tell you something. My future son-in-law is from Venezuela. He was born in Venezuela. His parents barely speak English. They're Venezuelan. Okay. He was with me over Christmas and we talked about this. And he said, Bruce, I'm not worried about United States taking my oil because President Chavez and Maduro took it long ago. It used to be if their country flourished because that oil really drove their economy. But then once those presidents started taking it all and then dealing drugs with their money, it pulled the money out of it and tanked the economy. Their inflation is through the roof. Banks don't open sometimes. It's just crazy what's going on. Sometimes they can't get food. It's ridiculous. So he says, United States isn't going to do that. United States is going to redirect. And I believe that to be true. Now, the United States may make money off that oil. I don't blame us for doing it because we're helping the country out. So we should have some type of gain in it, but we're going to do it for the better of them. And I promise that is the way it's going to go. And I think we're all going to be better from it. Whether you're Venezuelan, whether you're Cuban, it's going to help the Cubans eventually too. Okay. So Cubans, we're going to help you. You Hispanic folks, you know that I'm one of the only gringos in my entire branch. Most of my branch speak Spanish. So if you think that, hey, listen, I'd love to work with the loan arranger, but he doesn't speak Spanish, believe me, I have my entire staff does, and they have been trained by me personally. So feel free to give me a call. I will help you out with whatever it is that you need. I wanted to talk about an article that I read it's industry news article, and it was from housingwire.com. But I wanted to hit some highlights on this because the article is Trump wants to ban large investor home purchases. Now, what do you think that really means? I'm going to tell you what it means. So here's part of the article. President Trump said Wednesday that he is moving to ban large institutional investors from buying single family homes, framing the proposal as a way to improve housing affordability. And now he says, I'm going to immediately take steps to ban institutional investors from buying more single family homes. And I will be calling on Congress to codify this. People live in homes, not corporations. So real estate investors, real estate investment trusts or REITs, private equity firms, and other large institutional investors have expanded their single family rental portfolios in recent years, drawing criticism from housing advocates and lawmakers who argue that investor activity has constrained supply and pushed home prices higher. It has. Now, there's some good and bad with that. Now, I want to just digress for 1 second. One of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my financial career was not buying enough properties when the time was right. Remember what Warren Buffett says, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. Let me tell you this. Back from 2008 or 9 to 2015, right after the recession, do you think that would have been a great time to buy houses? You better believe it would. If you bought 3 houses back then, you'd be a millionaire in profits right now. Just insane the amount of profits that you could make. But do you know people weren't buying properties back then? You know who was? Blackstone, these big investor companies, the Tricon residentials. So they were buying properties. So they helped things a little bit, but they took advantage of the way the market was. Now, what's happening is these big institutional companies are coming in and buying our inventory, what's making it harder for you first-time home buyers. Then they want to encourage you to rent from them. It's just not the right thing to do. So markets reacted swiftly to Trump's comments. Shares of Invitation Homes, which is a big company, the nation's largest owner of single family residential homes, their stock fell by 7% Wednesday afternoon. Blackstone, a major player in the space, also acquired a company called Home Partners of America for $6 billion in 2021, and Tricon Residential for $3.5 billion. Now, their stock was down about 5%. Now, this report does show that single family rental REITs, including America Home for Rent and Invitation Homes, declined 7% and 9%, while home builders fell about 2%. But mortgage originators, meanwhile, were either flat or growing a little bit, but by small single digits. So my business is definitely growing. My business has increased just in the last 2 to 3 weeks by about 50%. That's a pretty good increase. So I'm really excited about that. It shows that people are wanting to get back in the market. Now, I don't think Trump's got a plan on how they're going to implement this, and I'm sure he's going to get a lot of kickback on it or pushback on it. So not kickback, but pushback. Okay. So I don't know how it's going to end up turning out. But his comments come as investors' activity has largely flattened. According to Redfin report released in December, investors purchased about 52,000 homes in the third quarter of 2025. That was up 1% from the year before. Those purchases accounted for roughly 17% of all U.S. home sales during that period. So not a huge percentage, but enough. So they are actually moving the market. You think about this. If you can own the bulk of properties out there, then you can control rent and you can control prices. And that's what these companies are doing. My name is Bruce Woodburn. They call me the Lone Ranger. I'm giving you the details, good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, no matter what it is you want, you're going to get it from me because I'm going to be truthful with you about what's going on. And although I don't like these big companies buying up these properties because I think they're controlling the market more than you think they are. And that's probably what's driving things up, and they're reducing inventory. And that doesn't make housing attractive. And we need more inventory to even keep rates down. We need two things. We need more inventory. We need lower inflation. Trump's already working on the inflation part, and he's doing a great job. Inflation is down. Come on. We were at 9% during Biden. And you know what? I don't think it was 9%. I think it was 13%. But now we're down about 2.5%. We're working toward 2.2, 2.1, 2%. If we can get down to a 2.1% inflation, we're going to see interest rates come down a little bit more. Now, I've been watching the bond market, and interest rates have been doing great. They're not dropping sharply, and they're not expected to drop sharply. So if you think and you're waiting around to refinance for a 4.75% rate, it isn't going to happen. I had a client call me the other day. He's one of my clients, very loyal to me. He goes, Bruce, I can't believe this offer that I got in the mail from this company. They're offering me a 4.75% VA rate. I said, how many points are they charging? 2.5 points plus one origination, plus this, plus that. I went, they wouldn't even be able to do that. VA doesn't even allow that, but they're advertising it. Don't get caught up in the advertisement, folks. Call somebody reputable. If you don't trust me implicitly, if you don't think I'm the 100% truthful and 100% on the up and up, then don't call me. Don't use me. Don't use me for a mortgage. But if you do trust me, and you can check out my references, top to bottom, 35 years. If you do trust me, I will always take you down the right path. I will always take you down the right path. So I told him that is not a realistic rate. I ran realistic rates, and I run an analyzer that tells me when your break-even period is. And it was like 54 months to break even. I'm like, don't do that. You need a 36-month or less break-even period to make a refinance worth your while, folks, or don't do it. If you want to test it, you want to see what it takes to make it worthwhile to refinance, call the Lone Ranger. And you don't have to call the company that's servicing your mortgage. A lot of those companies that service mortgages, like Penny Mac and Mr. Cooper, they're not equipped to originate a loan. They're equipped to service existing loans. That's what they do best. So you call the Lone Ranger, 813-213-4009 or 407-706-3313. Or WeBringYouHome.com. Need a realtor? Call me about the real estate, my Lone Ranger real estate rebate program, where the realtor I refer you to is top notch in your area, guaranteed, vetted by me. They don't pay me 1 cent. They pay you up to 25% of their commission. And that's how I operate, my friends. More money back in your pocket. You want my help? I'm applying for the job. Put me to the test. Check my references out. Go deep. Ask my past clients, ask my current clients, look at my Google reviews, my Yelp reviews, whatever reviews they all have out there. I don't know. Check them all out, but they're legit. My name is Bruce Woodburn, and I'd love to earn your business. Call me at 407-706-3313 or WeBringYouHome.com. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a great weekend. And don't forget to check out my podcast, my iHeartRadio, my Spotify, my YouTube channel, Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger. I'm here for you. Have a great weekend.